Hey, this is Al from Transformational Gaming. Appreciate you coming by. Appreciate you coming to the channel. Today, we are talking about all of the crying that's going on in the industry today about the PS5 Pro. But I guess this is PS5 Pro week. So, yeah, we're here to talk about it right now. But before we get into all of it, I would like to ask you to please subscribe to the channel. You guys have been doing so well with the subscriptions and the liking and subscribing. I really do appreciate it so much. So let's keep it going. Let's keep it gaming. And let's start talking about some of the business aspect. Now listen, I understand business to some of you guys are like hieroglyphics. Okay, people don't understand business. I see all these YouTube channels, these big, huge YouTube channels, taking stuff that I say in my video and acting like this is some type of new revelation. But that's fine though, because if I have to contribute in that manner, then that's fine. Like Tupac says, I'm not here to make a revolution. I'm here to spark the person to make a revolution. So anyway, let's get into it. The industry has gone mad. Okay, everybody to a man is making all type of videos. IGN, Dreamcast guy, all type of Sony outlets, even Digital Foundry is making all of these proclamation about the PS5 Pro and how the graphics aren't really all of that much increased or isn't to the standards that they're trying to present that it is. I guess, I'm not sure. Okay, I guess they're trying to say there's not a big difference in the graphics. And so that's their opinion. But the real issue that people are bellyaching about is the price tag. And so I'm going to talk about those two things because, listen, I understand. If I was ignorant, I would probably be making the same videos. But let's just walk this back. Let's just walk it back. Let's start from the beginning, all right? Because that's how you get things into proper perspective from the beginning. And you have to understand that the only obligation and operation of any business, I don't care what business you run, I don't care if you're a journalist or whatever business that you run, if you work for a company and you see a mission statement that says, oh yeah, we're here to satisfy all our customers. Let me tell you something. The only mission that any American business ever had was to make money and make money indefinitely. That's the only mission for an American business. Now, I can't speak to businesses that are outside of the country. If you are somewhere else, then your mission statement may be different. But here in the United States, the mission for any business is to make money and to make it indefinitely. And so, knowing that, you got to understand, Sony's not here to play patty cake with you. Okay? Now, there are a few forces in the industry that I want to talk about. So let's start with the elephant in the room. Price. Okay? Price is a big issue. I understand. I'm going through a lot of financial stuff. Heck, man, I was told that I had to move out of my house that I'm renting because they decided to sell the house. And it ain't like I can make a negotiation. They're not looking to negotiate with me. They looking for me to move the HE double hockey sticks up out of here. Okay? So that's why I'm doing, and that's why I got to not make videos for a little bit. I am going to try to do some shorts. But for the most part, I'm not going to be able to make videos for a little while because of me having to move. And it's nothing personal. It's business. And the same thing with Sony, okay? Sony doesn't care about your feelings. I know I listen to Dreamcast guy. I listen to everybody. I listen to some YouTubers that I've never even heard of. They came across my feed or whatever. And the real issue is that, listen, people, business is tough. You can go to an interview and they have 4 interview invitations. and you can get to the fourth interview and not be selected amongst the people who are interviewing with you. But it's business. You know, life is not fair. I know I'm turning this into a philosophical type of topic, but life is just not fair, man. Let's apply this to the pricing. Is the PS5 Pro expensive? Yes, it is. But there are forces in the market that are making the PS5 Pro expensive. Now, is Sony trying to cash out with the PS5? Yes. And they're using the PS5 as a loss leader. I can admit that. But you got to understand that, honestly, I was surprised that the PS5 and the Xbox Series S was not going to be $1,000. When I learned that CPU was going to be 5 nanometer, like, that's brand new technology even today. That's why they can't break any yields on it. Because it's still new technology. I was so shocked that they got that thing down to 5 nanometer. Even right now, like the new NVIDIA Blackwell that's about to come out, that's going to be 5 nanometer. So you got technology that hasn't even been released yet, the same size as what's in the PS5. Now, I know that doesn't mean a lot to you gamers out there. That's why I wouldn't have went for 5 nanometer. I would have either went with the Intel chip or I would have went for a lower spec, a type of processing. You could have still got to your precious 3.5 gigahertz per second. That's not fast at all. But the point is that that's just one force in the market. Yields are very, very important. It's just one. Let's go to force number 2. All right, we're gonna treat these like the 4 forces of nature. Okay, the first one was gravity. Right? Nah, we're not gonna do that. But for real, the first one is the yields of it. It's just the technology's too new. The second force is the actual price that they're paying for these chips. It's not going down. And now you got a PS5 Pro that has an even bigger GPU that's going to be using AI that's on the level of NVIDIA. I think they're doing hardware embedded AI, that PSSR is going to be some type of DLSS equivalent, and that costs money. Now, I don't have any type of behind the scenes type of proof or whatever, but I can imagine if that thing looks that good, like I'm thinking it's going to do, I'm pretty sure they got some type of NVIDIA either re-engineering or some type of NVIDIA licensing going on. But yes, that's expensive. You got a bigger GPU. The parts on there, that's expensive. So you got an APU that is not going down in price. You double the compute units for the GPU, and now it's just so expensive that Sony does not want to lose any money on this product. So yeah, they probably upcharge you for the stand. But I'm pretty sure that's the only thing that they're upcharging you for. I bet they're at least in the black, are breaking even with the console. Yeah, they're probably sticking it to you for the stand, which probably cost them 14 cents. But the stand and the drive, you got to pay for. But I guarantee you they are breaking even on the actual system. And I do agree with some of the stuff I've been seeing and hearing as far as that's the reason why Xbox did not want to come out with a Pro. They knew it was going to be expensive. So yes, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. But like I said, the PS5 Pro is not for everybody. It's probably not yielding that high, okay? So it's probably going to be a limited amount of them. This PS5 Pro will sell out no matter how much belly aching and yelling you guys do. The PS5 Pro will sell out. And there will be some dummies out here that's going to try and sell that thing to you for $1,000. But the fact of the matter is that, folks, you're not going to bully Sony. You're not going to bully Sony. Sony has already wiped their hands off on this generation. Why do you think the Pro is out? The Pro is out only for enthusiasts and for developers so that they can get a pipeline for ray tracing going, because the PS6 is going to be doing ray tracing only. And I guarantee you, whatever system Xbox come out with, that will be doing ray tracing only. And so they're giving developers time to come up with a pipeline for that ray tracing. Unreal Engine 5 is going to be the keys to the kingdom. It's going to be the keys to the kingdom because it comes with everything you need as a software development toolkit. And the thing is that you got to have hardware that is able to push all of these Unreal Engine features without compromising frame rate. And that's what the PS5 is supposed to do. Now, I've been hearing a bunch of inaccurate stuff about the PS5's graphics. I'm gonna get to that in a little bit, but I want to hit this price thing really, really hard. Pause, because you guys don't understand what Sony's up against. All right, they are doing this to move gaming forward. You don't see it right now because all the thing you belly aching about is the price. The Sony's not obligated to come up with a price for you. Why? Because that system is not for you if you cannot afford $700. I bet this much. I bet that you guys wish the PS5 Pro was your rent. You'd be like, $700? Shoot, I'm gonna pay that. I'll pay that with ease. Because the cost of living is going up. That's another force that's causing this price absurdness. If the vending machines are going up, if the all type of markets are going up, food market, Walmart, Kroger's, Winn-Dixie, wherever you shop at, if those places and prices of food and whatever you shop for is going up, you best better believe your guilty pleasure or your habits or whatever is going up too. Your pastimes, that's going up. So when you play with video games, you better buy you a PS4 if you can't afford to play with a newer console. But come on, guys, this is new tech, okay? This is not the PS5 being re-released. And I understand that the PS4 Pro was Xbox One X. All of those were the same price as the initial price for the console. But the fact of the matter is that we are not in the same environment that we was in 2016. We are in a post-pandemic world. Everything has gone up. Everything. Your rent has gone up. If you take a look at your rent from 2016 to now, I guarantee you it has quadrupled. Or close to it, at least double, So guys, don't get so bent out of shape over price, because the fact of the matter is that the way you combat all of this stuff that you don't like is to not buy it. I mean, and trust me, Sony is not going to run out of business if you don't buy the PS5 Pro, because again, it's almost like a toolkit. It's just like NVIDIA. I love Jensen Huang. Jensen Huang is a genius. I love that guy. But let's be honest. Jensen Huang and NVIDIA are basically a monopoly. So is Sony. So Sony is basically a monopoly now. They're the only people who are competing in the market. Microsoft isn't competing. And I told you, I've been telling you this for probably 5 years now. Competition is a consumer's refuge. If you don't have McDonald's, Wendy's, and In-N-Out Burger out here on the streets, KFC, Taco Bell, if you don't have them out here on these streets, the bottom line is that a burger could cost $2,000. We're going to end up having we're going to be like yen. Because everybody is trying to make money and trying to be in their own market. Microsoft is trying to make their own market. They trying to be the Netflix of gaming, which is not working. Sony is competing traditionally. They the only people who's in the market because Nintendo's not competing with Sony. Nintendo is basically a handheld. Now, I do think there's a couple of semi-consoles that's out there trying to compete with Nintendo, but there's really no competition for Nintendo. When Nintendo come out with the Switch 2, it's probably going to be $500 or $600, which y'all going to be belly aching again. Oh, it's going to be funny too. But everybody's giving, I've seen Digital Foundry, I've seen John Lennon talking about, they're getting rid of the Blu-ray disc drive, which I don't understand. Looking back on it, I used to be a stickler for physical media, but man, one time I was on my couch and I didn't feel like getting up and changing my game. And from that point on, my life was changed. Now, I probably gained 5 pounds from that. But when I went over there and learned that I can click on a game with my controller, I was like, man, this is good. Because the bottom line is physical media sucks because it's corruptible. Every time you take a CD and put it inside your system, or you take a cartridge and slide it in and out of your system, on a micro level, it is deteriorating every time you do something to it. Every time you open it up or blow in it or whatever you do to the cartridge and it connects inside of the system, on a micro level, it is breaking. It is deteriorating. And you don't have that problem when you got basically a SSD that can hold a lot of games, and that's all you doing is clicking on it. Instead of jamming a Blu-ray in there, jamming a cartridge in there, all you doing is just going to and clicking on and operating the system via your controller. Now, do you have to deal with DRM? Yes, you do. And DRM sucks. But I would say what equally sucks is when your disc is no longer reading, or when your cartridge is broke, or when the spring inside of the cartridge slot is broke. So there's pros and cons to all this. I think we're in a better space with discless medium, but I don't know. To me, this is just something people can complain about. I mean, to me, it's much to do about nothing. The price is nothing. You already got a PS5. And people who's talking about there's no games for the PS5 Pro. What are you talking about? It's a pro system. It's only meaningful existence is just to play the games you already got better. And then I hear people, let's go ahead and talk about this. The graphics part of it. Folks, we got to get off of this. We got to get off of the graphics part of it. We don't know what this thing is going to look like until we get it in our hands and we start playing it on our OLEDs or whatever we got. Okay? We don't know if all the games is going to run 60 frames per second. Nobody knows none of this. There's nothing that indicates that it is or it isn't. Now, was the presentation for the PS5 Pro the greatest thing ever? No, it was not. And I would even say that the presentation kind of sucked. But I was happy to see that the system has been revealed and that they do plan on making games work on that system a lot better. But folks, that's all you buying. You just buying a console that can play the same games that's on the PS5 better. Some games are going to play a lot better. Some games are probably going to play a little bit better. But regardless of the situation, you're going to have a better graphical experience with the game, supposedly. And the people who are using these YouTube compressed, smeared out presentations as a thing to point to that says, hey, this game look exactly the same. So what? The game is not supposed to change the game. It's supposed to just make it run better. I told you in the video before they released the PlayStation 5 Pro that the system is not going to be better than my 3090 Ti. But let me tell you something. My 3090 Ti still costs more than the PS5 Pro. And that's even before you have to put other stuff with the PC to get it to work. Like processor, coolant, power supply. I mean, this thing is still being sold for like $1,300, $1,100. So I'm not necessarily in line with what you guys are saying. I mean, I just think you guys are belly aching. Y'all crying like babies. Y'all look bad. Let me be honest with you. A lot of y'all look bad, man. Y'all crying over a console that you don't even have to buy. Hey, if you want to speak to Sony about the price, don't buy it. That's the best way to do. Preserve your wallet. But you're mad because you know that as soon as this thing is released on November 7th, that thing is going to sell out. Even from hoarders who try to upsell the console, or people is legitimately interested in having the best PS5 there is. But that thing is going to sell out, folks. You know it is. You know it is. That's why you guys are belly aching about it. I'm going to get one. The people who are belly aching are going to get one. So who are you trying to convince not to get the system? All of you guys who are complaining are going to get the system on IGN, Gamer Guy, Dreamcast Guy, whatever his name is. All of you guys are going to get this system. IGN, GameSpot, all of you guys are going to get it. You're going to get the PS5 Pro. So let's come off of it. Digital Foundry's going to get it. All right. You know what I'm saying? Just like they got the 4090 Ti, which, shoot, I can afford it, but shoot, man. I mean, I'm not going to buy that. Not for $2,000. They got it down now to $1,700. I'll probably get it, especially if they come out with a Ti for the 4090. I'll probably get the 4090 Ti for like $1,300, like I got the 3090 Ti for $1,300. But I'm not going to spend $2,000 like I did on the 2080 Super, which was stupid in hindsight. But I'm not going to spend $2,000 on a graphics card. The most I'm going to spend is about $1,500. So I'll be waiting for that to go down. But, you know, Jensen Huang is a genius, man. And Sony is watching this and saying, we want to be NVIDIA. Sony is saying, we want to be NVIDIA. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Look, man, there's nothing wrong with a business making money. Now, some of you guys, I understand y'all work for YouTube. Y'all work on YouTube. It's quick, easy money. I mean, but, you know, nowadays, you can make money. It's easy to make money nowadays. There's all type of gig jobs you can get. There's so many ways you can save up, so many avenues. It wasn't always like that, especially in the 90s. It wasn't. Now there's all type of ways to make money. So this video may run a little bit long, but I just had to get that out, man. I mean, you guys need to stop the crying, for real, because you're making yourself look bad. You're making yourself look cheap, and it doesn't become you. The guys who's out here complaining, I bet they got like 4 Expedition or something crazy like a Jaguar or a Testarossa. I don't care if it's used. It's going to cost more than a PS5 Pro. Come on, man. Y'all, you know, some of you guys are out here, y'all paying $30,000 for a coupe. $30,000. Woo, this is expensive, but I'm going to get one. Yeah, it's just the way it is, man. We're in a post-pandemic type of situation. And the reality of the matter is that, folks, things are going to get even more expensive. You got to work harder. You got to work harder than you ever have before. And for that, I apologize that you have to work hard. But you got to work hard nowadays to get what you want. You got to have 2 and 3 work-at-home jobs now because it is so difficult to make money and to stay ahead. But it is what it is, and good luck to you. But guys, y'all probably going to continue to make these crazy videos because y'all probably getting all type of crazy views and stuff like that. But you can act out with this fake outrage. But the fact of the matter is that the fake outrage is not going to get you anywhere. People are still going to buy the system. And you can get all these guys in your comment section saying, yeah, I ain't getting one. It looks the same. You're going to get that observation from a YouTube video? From a YouTube video? Come on, man. Wait till the console come out. Then you can make an observation about how the graphics look. But you can't just say, hey, you know, 4K, 60 frames per second. The graphics look good as the way they were. But then you're going to have Digital Foundry out here making all these videos showing how bad Jedi Survivor or whatever it was, how much it clips or whatever. That's what Sony's trying to do. Sony's trying to come out with a premium console that is easy to play and you don't have to put it together like a PC. I had to use a lot of sweat equity on my PC when I put it together, and it's working, thank God. But the point is that, man, my PC still costs a lot of money. You can probably even assume, and you'll probably be right, that my PC has appreciated just because of how high everything is. I mean, that's why you need to go out here and vote. Vote. If you want stuff to go down in price, vote. We're in the election season now. Let's talk about that instead of talking about Sony, who's just trying to stay in business. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I told you, man. So if you don't like a game, don't buy it. If you don't like a console, don't buy it. But don't be on here on YouTube trying to convince other people not to buy it, because I'm telling you, it's going to sell out. Whether you buy it or not, it's going to sell out. It's going to sell out, man. It is going to sell out. It is going to be a hit. Even the PS4 Pro, it sold. It sold. I guarantee you, if you ask Sony, hey, look, did you have any warehouses full of PS4 Pros? They'll be like, no, we sold every PS4 Pro we made. I guarantee you, there is no way you're going to go to the GameStop or EB Games or whatever and find a PS4 Pro that has not been used. There are no more PS4 Pros that you can buy new. There's not. All the ones that has been made has been bought. So before you out here talking about, oh yeah, they only sold 25% more because every one they produced, they sold. So that's all I'm gonna say about it. If you like the video, give me a like. Phil Spencer, you're next. I'm gonna get you maybe not next week, but the week after, whenever I put my PC back together. All right, I'm coming after you, man, because you know you've been doing wrong. You're doing wrong. You're doing wrong. All right, this is Al from Transformational Gaming, and I'm out.